From the shores of the Three Rivers on Pittsburgh's South Side, Champ Sports Network welcomes you to our coverage of Pittsburgh Passion football. As tonight, the 3-1 Passion play host to the 4-0 Boston Militia. It's a WFA showdown coming up next, right here on the Champ Sports Network. Pittsburgh Passion football on the Champ Sports Network is proudly brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, life-changing medicine. By the Club Sport and Health, one membership, more options, more fun. By CORE, the Center for Organ Recovery and Education. One organ donor can help save up to 8 lives. Learn how you can help by texting LIFE to 66174. By Silver Sport, ultimate fitness gear, protecting workouts everywhere. By U.S. Foods, keeping kitchens cooking. And by Pittsburgh Brewing Company, the makers of IC Light. From the shores of the Monongahela River in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Champ Sports Network welcomes you to our coverage of Pittsburgh Passion football. It is the Boston Militia taking on your Pittsburgh Passion. Joined alongside Mike Osti, I'm Matt Fargo. Welcome to tonight's broadcast as a 3-1 Passion, 4-0 Boston Militia. Should be a great one, Mike. These two teams, offensive firepowers. They love to put points up on the board. Boston a little bit more than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense, though, is quite to be touted as well. One of the fourth best as far as statistically in the WFA.
Sound it out. Hooked on phonics here as we open up the broadcast. The Pittsburgh Passion are a team that after that first loss, their home opener loss to start this year, they've kicked it into gear. And they kicked it into gear not only from scoring points with Lisa Horton and company and driving downfield, but as you said, defensively, they become a brutal force. They've won in a similar fashion to another football team, professional football team in the same city they share of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They have that gridiron blue-collar mentality, and they have shutout victories on their resume, and that's impressive in this league. Boston, on the other hand, they don't care what the opponent scores because they feel they can score more. It is just basically run and gun, throw up points, we will out-blast you offensively, and they've done so with 40-plus, 50-plus, a 70-point game. This Boston team is going to be tough, and I got to say, I think that shutout streak might be in jeopardy here tonight.
Yeah, it's quite impressive shutout streak. They're looking for 14 if they could get the first quarter, and if they did shut out Boston in the first half, it would be the longest consecutive shutout quarter streak in Pittsburgh Passion history. They're 2 quarters away from doing it, but they got a pretty tough task to accomplish it.
They do, and that would be something to hang your hat on because this isn't any old franchise. It's the Pittsburgh Passion, their championship mentality every single year. You have Hall of Fame players, you have memorable players from the history of this league that have worn the Passion helmet in those black and gold colors. So to say that and to be able to put that on your record as a member of the Pittsburgh Passion 2012, 2013 with our shutout streak, they won it, but it won't be easy against Boston.
Well, the Pittsburgh offense is going to get the football first, and they're not too shabby themselves as Lisa Horton is coming off a 5-touchdown, 237-yard performance that earned her WFA Player of the Week honors 2 weeks ago. They had the bye week last week, and now there's an opportunity here against Boston, who's coming off a pretty impressive win themselves, a 47 win over the New York Sharks. So it's big time for Pittsburgh to give another team in this conference a loss. There's still 4 teams undefeated. This is a very important game as far as the playoff picture when you're talking about seeding.
It's all about positioning. It's all about getting yourself ready for that fight for a title in the playoffs. They need divisional games. They need to get retribution for already having a loss to D.C.
Kickoff is fielded back and then knocked down and flipped back at the 25-yard line across the 35 and up to about the 40-yard line. Wadowski gets the return after the flip as it went off a paw of one of the upbacks. She tossed it back to Wadowski, who moves it up to the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh gets good field position to start their first offensive possession.
And the Passion, when you're facing a team, I'm sure the coaches tell this to the players, when you're facing a team that can just score at will and is averaging almost 40 points per game, you want to score as many as you can and do it early. You want to put pressure on Boston, and this opening drive is a big deal to mount that pressure on the Militia.
It'll be first down at 10, and here's Lisa Horton, our first look this evening at her. She'll go under center. The play action option play. Little trickeration. The first play from scrimmage. They got Wadowski on the far side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Pittsburgh on the first play from scrimmage. A little trickeration for 6. 60 yards for Pittsburgh. Rachel Wadowski hauling in the pass. And just like that, Pittsburgh's up 6-0.
Wow. You want to snatch momentum? You want to mount pressure? There you go. That's how you do it better than ever. One play, one drive, a bomb, into the breadbasket, touchdown Passion, through the air, another touchdown pass for Lisa Horton, and on the jump immediately, 6-0 Passion.
Amy Fallon, who leads the WFA at extra points, will try to get her 21st of the year. Snap, hold, kick. There's 21 for Amy Fallon, and there's 7 points on the board for the Pittsburgh Passion. 14:36 to play here in the first quarter, and Pittsburgh jumps out to a very fast 7-0 lead, as fast as you can do it. One play, 60 yards later, Pittsburgh has an early 7-0 lead on Boston. And we didn't even get a chance to take a look at the UPMC Sports Medicine keys to the game, Mike. Let's take a look at those.
Oh, the Passion want to control the pace of this game with long drives. Well, they haven't done that, but I don't think they mind. 6, 7 points already on the scoreboard, 6 off of that touchdown, then the extra point. So they want to be methodical. That's the Passion way, where, yeah, you have Lisa Horton going deep. They have the curl routes, but they also can run. They have Candace Snyder and some halfbacks that really can churn that clock. And then also for the Passion, their defense, they need to capitalize on Boston turnovers and make sure that any Boston mistakes, what we've seen the Passion do to teams like Toledo, they make sure they capitalize and take advantage of. That's how good teams become great teams.
Kickoff fielded across the 30-yard line. Going to go far side with it on the return, 35, and upended. She crosses the 40-yard line and finally knocked out of bounds. She picks up an extra 6 yards on the return. Whitney Zeeley, and she's the story, Mike. She's the workhorse for this Boston Militia team, coming in with 70 carries on the season, already 1,075 yards on the ground for Whitney. In just 4 games, she's scored 17 touchdowns and averages 15.4 yards per carry.
Yeah, that's just amazing on any level, even playing on an open field with no tacklers. That's outstanding. And you want to churn that clock. You want to keep the possession. That's what Boston does better than anybody.
Sweep to the right side. Getting the call as she'll pick up the midfield stripe and then pushed out of bounds. First carry.
Stacy Tiamfouk pushed out of bounds by number 8.
Stacy Tiamfouk on the return from Cornell, or on the run on the sweep to the right side, picking up the midfield stripe and entering Pittsburgh territory at the 46-yard line. 13:58 to play, first quarter. Pittsburgh out to that quick lead on the trickeration. Sweep to the left side, and we get to see Zeeley, the first run she has, and has the first down and lowers his shoulder on the far side, picking up the 30-yard line and be finally tackled down around the 26-yard line.
Zeeley.
And it'll be a first down and 10 for the Militia. So while they didn't do it in one play, Mike, they've already put themselves in great field position in this quick offense. You're not going to have a lot of time to talk here if they go no huddle the whole game. Misdirection play here. This is a broken play. She's going to keep it and run with it. And she got blockers out to the far side and finally knocked out of bounds. Vasquez was finally able to chase her down, as that was quarterback Allison Cahill, who she's only attempted 48 passes this year, but have completed 33 of 48 passes, has thrown for 509 yards. and only has 6 touchdowns on the season. They don't put it on in the air that often, but when they do, they're pretty efficient at it.
Yeah, they do it when they need to, but they don't often have third down and longs, second down and longs. And they're that confident team. They've been in every situation imaginable. So, yeah, 1 play, 1 touchdown, 1 score for the Passion, but they're going to brush their shoulders off. That's why they're undefeated. That's why they think this is a championship season for them. And I wouldn't be surprised if you even see a screen or something down the front of the end zone to get the points.
Cahill with the 2-back set. Under center, sends one in motion right to left. The offset eye. Zeidley gets the carry off the left tackle, and she'll lower her shoulder down inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. Number of black jerseys in on the stop for Pittsburgh. It'll be second down and goal upcoming here for Boston.
Yeah, now they're going away from the no huddle. I was about to channel my inner hockey color commentator for that type of pace.
Yeah,
is
right.
what we saw. We had a track meet of a football game, but the Passion are now wanting to lick every single ball carrier. Make sure you get a remember me hit. That's how you stop a ground and pound team. Right
side to Zeidley, and she's into the end zone for the Militia touchdown. And Boston answers with a quick 4-yard run from Whitney Zeidley. And she punches in her 18th touchdown of the season on that run from 4 yards away, and we're an extra point away from tying things up. But this is what we need to keep an eye on. Boston does go for 2 at some points as their field goal, maybe the shakiest part of their team. Let's see what we can get here. Low snap. Kick is on its way, and that kick is true. And through the poles, 11:51 to play here in quarter number 1. And Pittsburgh and Boston both have put early scoring drives together. Back to Pittsburgh, where it's 7-7. Boston and Pittsburgh all knotted up. And Pittsburgh back to get the ball, and this one goes over Wadowski's head. She'll bobble it, finally pick it up at the 11-yard line and have to weave her way out of defenders, and she's not going to be able to do it. And she's bottled up short of the 15-yard line. Pittsburgh, after getting the football at the 40-yard line to begin things in their first drive, they'll have their backs against the wall here a little bit as they'll start from their own 14.
And this is now how you can perfect the clock control. You have the whole field in front of you, so you can kind of go into your playbook. Get the short passes. Get Kenneth Snyder on the ground. Get all these receivers involved. This now can be your first go of it with your offense against an even sound Boston Militia defense. Even though they give up some points, they're kind of a bend but don't break. You don't want to undercut themselves defensively. This is going to be a dogfight, and they know it here. Only a minute in, already tied.
Barking out the signals. And run to the left side. Trying to get tripped up here on the near side. On the run is Amanda Haig. Haig playing quarterback as they put Horton out to the far side as a receiver, as they did on that first play. Maybe to really confuse things. I mean, Horton...
They're confusing me. We're confused in the press box.
They weren't confused at all that first touchdown pass that
No.
Horton was able to sling down the field from a wide receiver spot nonetheless.
You know, if there's going to be any game where you're going to try to confuse, it's games like this against Boston.
Well, Horton's back at her normal spot in the shotgun with a sidecar to her left. Trips out to the far side right. Haig is one of them as she moves back to the wide receiver spot. And a run to the right side. It's Chick off the right side, and she will pick up first down yardage.
Sierra Chick, the ball carrier.
Gain of about 9 yards of the second down run. That will move the sticks just short of that 25-yard line. 24 will be where they put it.
Number 55.
Oh, no, they are going to give her the 25.
Sierra Chick picks up a Pittsburgh Passion.
Passion running game. It's more of a to keep you honest type of running game, Mike, but it has been successful at times this year.
And even so in the past. They've been a team that has had their one dimension be the running in the past and past seasons, but you can't be one-dimensional. They know it, and that's why they keep it on the ground when they need to.
Ordered from the pistol will roll out here to the left side. Looking to shovel it back, she will, to Chick, and Sierra Chick is tossed out of bounds for a loss of maybe 1 yard of the play. Coming up to make the stop for Boston was Deidre Hort.
Loss of 1.
It'll be second down and 11 coming up here for Pittsburgh.
And of course you don't know it when you're in the play, but she probably would have been better off keeping it herself, continuing to run, sliding, or even taking a tackle. It actually would have been more positive yards by Horton keeping on her legs than to even pass it off.
Second down and 11 from the 19. Or, I beg your pardon, from the 24. Haig in motion right to left. Horton gets the snap. We'll throw it out here in the flat to Haig. And Haig's bottled up. Back for maybe a loss of 2 more. And right now the Passion working behind the sticks, as Mike Tomlin would say. As this is going to bring up a third down and about third down and 12 coming up.
Third down, 12.
A lot of coaches have that mentality where you don't like plays that you have to go backwards to go forward. Too many of those plays are just a gamble. You're throwing dice there on the field, and we've seen a lot of that from the Passion in this drive that Boston's been able to just bottle up.
On third down, Horton on the rollout. To her right. Will sling it down the field. Got a receiver and overthrew her. Incomplete. Bury the intended receiver down the field, and it will be fourth down, and Pittsburgh will bring out the special teams unit to punt the football away.
And they're lucky that wasn't intercepted. Overthrown, 2 corners down deep. They both beat the wide receiver that could have been turned over, and now you're going to punt it away, but you hope to get field position and not put the Militia already in Passion territory where an interception would have.
Kicked by Candace Snyder. Is going to go out of bounds. And we'll mark this out at the 41-yard line of Boston. So relatively good field position, but still Snyder able to get a relatively good punt off to at least tilt the field position battle on the negative side and not the plus side of the 50.
Yeah, at around midfield, Boston starts things. Another drive where they're able to kind of go in the playbook a bit.
First down and 10 from the 42-yard line. The shotgun formation, a sidecar to the right and trips here to the near side. Snap and a handoff left side once again. Zeeley getting the call, and Zeeley 35-30, 25-20, and she is gone for the Boston touchdown. Whitney Zeeley runs it into the end zone for the Militia touchdown and goes in from 58 yards for 6.
And that, you want a one-play answer drive. You want to say anything you can do, I can do better. There it is. It's a different style, but it's one play. It's by Azili. It's a touchdown, now a game-leading touchdown for Boston, and that just goes to show you why every drive is so important for the Passion. They can't relinquish anything because Boston will keep on keeping on.
Bad snap in. The Passion are going to be able to bring her down short of the goal line because of that bad snap. That was what I was talking about earlier, and we get to see it here. So with 8:21 to play, quarter number 1, Boston 13, Pittsburgh 7. It's Pittsburgh Passion football right here on the Champ Sports Network. Kickoff here for Boston as we welcome you back. 13-7 now our score, and Pittsburgh gets the ball back on the return across the 35 and up to the 38-yard line on the return for Pittsburgh, so they'll get good field position out of it. Baker on the return. Back to work for Pittsburgh, Mike.
Yeah, and it's another quick turnaround, but this Passion team believes in themselves. They believe they can score with the best of them, and we've already seen able to drape over the defenders. I'd air it out. I'd spread out this Boston defense and try to tire them out by going downfield past the secondary, and that's what I hope to see again, which is what we did see on the touchdown back to start this game.
First down and 10 for Pittsburgh. On the 38-yard line, they're going to spread it out 5 wide. Trips to the left side as Horton does a check with me, conducting traffic and sending Haig in motion right to left. And now we'll sling it out over the far side and completing the pass out for first down yardage, picking up 11 yards. Angela Baker hauling in the pass to the far side. And an 11-yard pickup moves the sticks. And there's going back to what you were talking about on the last drive, Mike, about moving that football forward and not setting yourself back.
Yeah, the trick plays every now and then are fine. And we saw a touchdown off of a kind of trick play. You catch the defense off guard and napping. But you don't want to do 2-3 in a row.
Great play there to set up a first down from the 49-yard line. And Horton will roll out to the right, pressure barreling down, throwing and making a catch. Amanda Haig pulling the football off the very top of the phony grass here at the stadium. A terrific catch by Amanda Haig that picks up about 8 yards on first down. And it will be second down. They're going to give her 7, so second down and 3 coming up after really a terrific catch by Amanda Haig.
Yeah, and that was actually a more highlight reel-worthy catch than on the previous reception. While falling down, keeps her composure, hauls it in.
Trips out to the far side this time. Horton gets the snap and looks that way. Throwing, and a tall pass is hauled in by Haig. Horton splitting the defense down inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Amanda Haig makes another fantastic catch and moves the sticks again and puts Pittsburgh right on the doorstep of Boston once again.
It's Amanda Haig's world, and we're all just living in it. Add some more yards to her box score and stat sheet. The Passion now driving goal line territory against Boston, and this is a really important respond drive that you're really seeing executed to perfection.
Horton back, they'll send the trips tight this time. First down and 10 from the Boston 11-yard line. Back to pass on the slant route. It's intercepted. Picked off at the goal line, and she got some open room, and Horton's going to be able to make an initial slowing her down, and then finally a couple others come in to finish the job. Monica Williams gets the tackle on the interception, but Pittsburgh has bigger problems right now. As it was Jennifer Prong from the linebacker who is able to drop into zone coverage and get the interception and move it up all the way to the 35-yard line. And just when Pittsburgh an opportunity, turnover gives Boston a chance now to go up by 2 scores.
Did I jinx it? That try was perfect up until the last play, and you're really trying to fight against the secondary, but maybe too much as they bid on it and got through the receiver.
Sweep to the left side, and Zeidley again getting a big opportunity. Inside the 40, down to the 34-yard line of Pittsburgh. And she has some really good outside speed. One of the things that Pittsburgh's been able to do in containing a run is being able to stay at home in the containment of not allowing that outside corner run. Those sweep passes have not worked against Pittsburgh. She just has such a good job at lateral speed here. And here's a handoff to the right side. That's going to open up a hole. And she is slung down at the 5-yard line. And on the carry this time for Boston was Elisa Landrum. Landrum getting the carry and brought down about the 7-8-yard line.
And what you got to do defensively if you're the Passion, when you have a team that is just going to be 90% on the ground, you have a superstar runner like Zeidley, you got to hit her. Don't let her walk out of bounds. Make sure you're laying a hit on every single run at the conclusion. Make her get tired. I've not seen that the first couple possessions.
Tight set this time. Hand off to the left side. And Tamfuk is going to be bottled up just short of the 3-yard line. It'll be second down and goal now from about the 4-yard line.
Boston taking a rare breath for a huddle. It gives us to be able to take a breath, or maybe actually to say words, because Boston is coming out there. You want to wear somebody down. They're an exhausting team to play defense against. This is the greatest show on, AstroTurf maybe, or whatever we got here. in Station Square.
And off left side, Zeidley down to the 1. Be third down and goal from there. And, have the tables have turned in just a short period of time. The Passion an opportunity to go back up ahead, just trailing by 6. And Boston a yard away from being able to capitalize here. Passion can make this all go away here with a big defensive stop.
They can, but no, if they happen to be on the losing end, you're going to point back to that interception on the drive. That's going to be a factor because that turned the tide of this game. They were going to tie it. They were yards away. Now, Boston, in a blink of an eye, is looking for a 2-touchdown lead.
Under center in that tight formation. They give it off to the fullback, and she's into the end zone for the Boston touchdown. And this time, it was Dorothy Donaldson who got into the end zone from a yard away. The fullback scores, and it's 19-7 as Boston able to capitalize on the turnover, and it looks like they're going to go for 2 here to make it a solid 14.
And one of the keys for the Passion was to make sure to take advantage of Boston mistakes, because they do make some. But Boston now taking advantage of one by the Passion, a critical moment here in that first quarter, 19-7, looking for the extra point. And not only that did they have the drive, but it was after the missed extra point. So they got points taken away from Boston. Then they were about to put some up of their own. Kind of devastating here in the first quarter.
Zeidley gets the call and will just bounce it out to the outside and walk in for 2. And it is 21-7 with 3:15 to play in the first quarter. Passion had shutout teams for 13 straight quarters. They've allowed now 21 points in the opening quarter of this one, but this one definitely far from over. This offensive Pittsburgh, Mike, has been able to move the football, and that's something that for Boston's defense they have to be a little bit concerned about. They were able to get the turnover on that last series, but up until that point, as you had pointed out, that drive was picture perfect for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, every single pass was completed. Every single wide receiver was where they were supposed to be. The chemistry was there. They were even having to check the runner. There was pump fakes. It was perfect, and Boston knows it. This is a bright spot for the Passion. They've always moved the ball. They can drive on Boston.
Up across the 30-yard line on the return, that bounced outside 40 and up to the 46-yard line. As Pittsburgh will get midfield possession. And here we go. Back to work is Lisa Horton. She her first interception of the season. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but Horton only threw 1 interception all of last year.
Yeah, she's going to be, much to her chagrin, you had to read that. 1 interception now.
Right.
Well, you're not going to throw up that goose egg. Maybe she thought she had the unblemished interception mark finally in a season. Either way, to have anything in single digits is incredible for a quarterback. She's one of the MVP candidates in this league, and for a reason.
She also has 13 touchdowns. She had 19 all of last year, so she's well on her way to exceed that this season. As Horton rolls out, slings the football, and that one's batted away. Nice defensive play by the linebacker to bat the football away. Deidre Hort breaking up the pass intended for Amanda Haig, and it will be 2nd down and 10 now for Pittsburgh at the 46-yard line.
A great bat down defensively by the DB, but also almost batted down into the breadbasket of Amanda Haig. It actually was batted down behind her, so that almost became a reception. That almost was somehow one of those, a play for us turns into a play for you, unfortunately.
Second down and 10 for the Passion. Send Candace Snyder out to the far side. Low snap, Horton handles it. Slinging the football, making the catch. Amanda Haig once again. First down yardage inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. And that will pick up a black and gold first down.
And who was the linebacker on the play waiting for the tackle? Deidre Hort, the same woman who batted it down on the previous play. They're playing man-to-man, and when you're going to be throwing those 10-yard completions, you're doing the West Coast offense, you're going to be facing linebackers, not corners, with that speed. You're going to be getting hit harder, but if you get by him, you could go far. Almost broke for a touchdown on the reception by Haig in the Passion.
2:20 on a moving first quarter clock. Horton from the pistol, 4 wide. Barking out the signals, going to her right, throwing the football, and incomplete.
Almost taken down before.
Yeah, Pittsburgh wanted a pass interference call. Baker, the intended receiver, and that was a boom play with the defensive back coming in and providing the physical contact right as the ball was nearing the area. I think I'm honestly not surprised it wasn't called, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it was.
I would have called it because I think it wasn't necessary, but it was before contact should have been made. It was an early hit. It was an early tackle. You're bringing down the defender before the ball's actually in the air.
Horton sends Snyder out to the left side, so an empty setback with 5 wide receivers. Back to pass is Lisa Horton throwing and making the catch. A bobbling one at that at the 24-yard line. Angela Baker hauling in the pass and moving the sticks, and boy, yeah, Horton fitting in that. That window was not only tinted, it was quite small, but Baker able to nab that one out of the atmosphere.
And that's why you just thank the lucky stars that you got a quarterback like Horton. That's why every football team is quarterback driven in some capacity, because you got to be on another level to fit it into those spots, and there's only a handful of quarterbacks in any level that would have been able to hit that pass.
First down and 10 now from the 24, and we have a timeout taken by Boston. They've had enough of Lisa Horton lighting up the secondary again for now a third straight drive. And Boston wants to talk things over, so we'll take a break. And when we come back, more action here from Pittsburgh as a Passion look to get back on the board, 21-7. Pittsburgh Passion football brought to you by Pittsburgh Brewing Company, the makers of Icy Light. Welcome back as the Passion will have a first down and 10 from the Boston 24 after the Militia, the first team to call the timeout in this evening's contest. 1:21 to play in the first quarter. Horton gets a snap and rolls out to her right. Still rolling and throwing on the move and hitting the hands incomplete of Amanda Haig, who was also moving to the far side boundary. Just couldn't be able to haul that one in. So it will be now second down and 10 from the 24 after the incomplete pass.
And Haig's the go-to wide receiver for Lisa Horton. You know she wants that one back. She was just about to go to the end zone, just about to pick up the yards and set themselves up. Had her hand on it. It was thrown right to her. The defender behind her. It should have probably been a reception. That's on the wide receiver. But you know, I would not be surprised if we go right back to her because they have that confidence and chemistry in each other they keep instilling.
Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Horton sends Snyder out to the right. Back to pass. Throwing over the middle, and it is completed inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line as Candace Snyder was able to make the catch.
Pass is complete to number 12, Candace Snyder. To the 19.
And that's how pass-first offense works. That's how you involve the running back. Yeah, you're going to get her sprinkle of carries, but also the short go routes, those curls, the screens, all to Candace Snyder. She gets her receptions, and then she has the physicality to try to get an extra push on it and get by the defense, whether it be a corner, whether it even be a safety or a linebacker with a bigger body.
Empty set once again on third down and 4. 30 seconds to play in the opening period. Far side, fade route, got a receiver. Touchdown Pittsburgh, Rachel Wadowski making the catch. 4-6. Horton hooking up to Wadowski. Exactly what Pittsburgh ordered right there on the fade route to the near side. Rachel hauls in another TD pass. Her second of the game, by the way.
Yeah, and the Passion now within one touchdown. They put this back. They didn't let Boston build too much on their scoring. One stop, now set this up. The Passion kind of get back what was taken away from them on the interception. They got downfield, another picture-perfect drive, but get points out of it.
Well, it's Fight Like a Woman night in honor of breast cancer here on Pittsburgh Station Square. And
honors of Mother's Day. A lot of the Passion players, as well as the Boston Militia players, are mothers.
That's right. Instead of, some mothers, Mike, they want a bed and breakfast. But some of these mothers out here, they just want to know and wake up tomorrow that they won this game.
That would be the Mother's Day present to end all Mother's Day presents, and to be a present they can get themselves. They don't have to wait around and hope that their son or daughter actually gets what's on their list.
That's right.
They can get the job done themselves. And
make
now,
Mother's Day that much sweeter.
21-14, 22 seconds, 22 ticks here in the first quarter. I think we got a classic in the making, and you knew that was possible with these two teams.
Kick is away and fielded at the 20-yard line. Across the 25, 30, 35. Upended at the 40-yard line. Boston back to work offensively. And you know what? I think for all confidence purposes, Mike, Pittsburgh's defense needs to come out here and impose their will, get a turnover, get something that's going to spark this Passion sideline, this Passion fan group to really get involved and get into this game. If Pittsburgh can come away and get a stop here, whatever that means, get the ball back without Boston putting points on it.
Yeah, just without points. I don't care what else they do. Just get the ball without points. That's the name of the game. And no, your shutout streak's not continuing, but really, was it going to against a team who can put 70 points on the scoreboard? You still have the best defense on the field.
And off left side, Zeidley gets the call. And we have a flag back down in the vicinity of holding. And that's what it is. So the first time Boston gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar on the holding side of things, and
makes up the crowd. You get the round of applause after the penalty.
Light of pink being worn. And that's going to do it for the end of quarter number one. What a quarter, what a 15 minutes it has been. As it is 21-14, Boston has a 7-point advantage against the Pittsburgh Passion. Come back for the second chapter of this one. Pittsburgh Passion football continues right here on the Champs Sports Network after this. Pittsburgh Passion football on the Champs Sports Network is proudly brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, life-changing medicine. By the Club Sport and Health, one membership, more options, more fun. By CORE, the Center for Organ Recovery and Education. One organ donor can help save up to 8 lives. Learn how you can help by texting LIFE to 66174. By Silver Sport, ultimate fitness gear protecting workouts everywhere. By U.S. Foods, keeping kitchens cooking. And by Pittsburgh Brewing Company, the makers of IC Light. Second quarter underway. Avoiding a tackler, now going to take off and run with it. Allison Cahill, quarterback for the Militia, tucking it down and able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Niedermeyer comes in and make her first tackle. Be second down and 10 after the run there, and Cahill will take it around the right side this time and get blasted. Sharon Vasquez comes in and lays a big hit. Vasquez played on the Team USA women's team, went out across the lake and was a part of the very first women's international competition representing countries that are playing women's football now. It's amazing how this sport has grown over a short period of time.
It's really morphed into something fierce. And every athlete, you just dream of representing your country. That's just a whole different can of worms than even it being in professional realm.
Avoiding a tackle, now a flag comes flying in. Zealy still avoiding tacklers, and she's going to go all the way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Flag back here, though, at about the 40-yard line. I feel this is probably going to be not on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And flags almost immediately upon the handoff, but then another flag during the run. I'm not sure if we saw maybe something on the snap and then a holding.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking this holding or a block of the back here right around the 40-yard line.
The way Zealy runs, though, it's hard to call holding because she gets away from the tacklers. You don't even need to hold. It's unnecessary holding if you are. Just steer clear and let her go. She can stiff arm.
It's a face mask penalty against Pittsburgh.
Face mask against Pittsburgh, the touchdown.
So the touchdown will be good.
Where was the face mask? Was it during the run or was it back on the line of scrimmage? Because on the snap, I saw a penalty. I saw a flag on the snap. How could there have been a face mask 5 seconds in?
No, that's not where the face mask was. It was at the 40-yard line here, which is the only flag.
Right.
Which is the only flag that I saw. I did not see one back at the original line of scrimmage. And this extra point is good. So it is now 28-14 as Boston quickly responds. And really a heck of a run.
I mean,
if
she did that run with a face mask, she spun off a face mask and then managed to get in the end zone. They don't even. That was a face mask that was for naught. If you're gonna do a face mask penalty, you don't want to give up the yards, but you stop the runner.
Well, you're gonna give it up here on the kickoff.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm thinking if I'm a tackler, I'm saying, well, I got to do anything I can. I'll face mask. Maybe they don't call it. It didn't even matter.
Right. 28-14, 13:47 here in the second. Pittsburgh Passion Football proudly brought to you by CORE, Center for Organ Recovery and Education. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives. Text LIFE to 66174 to learn how you can help.
What a view here. We say it every broadcast. We have the train going by. I know the train sounded its horn, and just such a coincidence upon the Passion's introduction in their last home game here in Station Square. And then you got the sun beaming off of all those buildings in Pittsburgh. The view here from Station Square off the river at this new stadium for this team. It's just remarkable. They really have to be honored to be able to have this in their backdrop.
This kick is going to go out of bounds, so Pittsburgh is going to actually reap the benefits of that penalty as they moved her up, and she subsequently kicked the ball out of bounds. So Pittsburgh's going to get good field position anyway out of it. We'll be able to start at the 35-yard line.
And now they get the ball faster. In the end zone, now you're set up, you get the ball faster, just look at it positively, the glass always half full. And now, 28-14 is where you would have been prior to the turnover. So with 13:47, there's still an eternity in this game. And the Passion are every time, again, they move the football. Even the drive off the interception, they move the football. One of those touchdowns by Boston is thanks to the Passion. The Passion feel they've actually played well. They just need to stick to their game, play fundamental football, play Pittsburgh Passion football with Lisa Horton and Amanda Haig and Candace Snyder and everybody the way they've been, and it just stayed tight till the end.
So their options, because there was a penalty assessed to the Passion before the kick, were to either take the ball where it rolled out, which was right around the 5-yard line, or have them re-kick. And obviously they elected to have them re-kick, so that's what we're going to do now.
Good decision.
King has served as team captain several times.
Smart head coaches we have here at the Passion. Rather kick it again than start in the 5. Who wouldn't?
He also has been serving our community and country as a teacher for the children of Mount Pleasant for over 20 years. Next to win, offense to 9-4-2-5-3.
Kickoff fielded on the roll at the 11-yard line by Haig, who's pushed down at around the 21-yard line, and Black and Gold go back to work, down by 14.
Passion ball, 1st and 10.
And here's this Passion offense, Mike, who has been very methodical in this first half. And the one blemish is really what has ended up being what you see up on the scoreboard now. But Horton has really been able to pick apart the defense otherwise.
It's why it's so important, though, to hold on to the football. Teams like Boston, that's why they're undefeated. That's why they've just been studs through this season, have been a beast machine. You got to be an A-plus effort to beat them.
Horton gets a snap, back to pass, dumps it off here to the near side, and Snyder tries to juke one out of her shoes and decides to just power her way forward. Gets it up to the 25-yard line, a 4-yard pickup on the pass and catch. Eddie on the stop. 2nd down and 6 coming up.
2nd down and manageable, so this allows them to either maybe run, then get a 3rd down and short, or you go back to an 8-yard run, just try to maybe get yak yards for a first, then see what happens. Will we see another deep play? Because they had that the only deep play we've seen from the Passion all night was a touchdown, first play of the game.
2nd down and 6. Clock winding with 12:45 to play in the second quarter. And the handoff goes to Snyder, and she will stretch her way forward for 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4 after the pickup of 2. Seegers gets the tackle for Boston, and a big 3rd down coming up here with 12:25 on a moving second quarter clock.
This is definitely a monumental 1st down here early on. You don't want to get Boston the ball and let them get more than a 2-touchdown lead. 2 touchdowns you can work with, 3, 4. That's when they get that mojo, and that's why they have so many blowout victories.
Trips out to the far side. Horton conducting signals. Back to pass. Rolling to the left side, and Horton's going to take off and run. Got the 1st down, 35-40, and pushed out of bounds, but not before she picks up the 45-yard line. As Horton showing the wheels.
Lisa Horton's a pocket passer. She has her arm strength. Sometimes doesn't get the credit she's due for athleticism, and we saw it there. Takes it on her legs, gets that 1st down, and wants to be insured of the 1st down, put it on herself. I actually saw her shy away from a few runs earlier to get to the wide receivers. This time, I'm happy. She took it right through the seam, was running, blown right by everybody, got the 1st down, a few more yards, and that now gives Passion momentum on top of being at about midfield with 4 more downs to play with.
1st down and 10 from the 45. Pistol formation it's Haig that gets the snap and hands it off, and she's stopped in the backfield. As Chick got the call, was tripped up for a loss of 2 yards in the play. So you see Amanda Haig sliding back there.
What do you
catching
think?
Me off guard a couple times.
What do you think of that? Throwing her, it's almost seemingly big play from Horton. They give her a rest. They throw Hagen. It's almost a throwaway play. Maybe we gain yards. Maybe we don't. Oh well. I'm not seeing anything positive on it.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's about anything about giving Horton a time off. I almost think it's trying to keep the.
But you've done it so much now. You're not catching them off guard. Now they got.
They've only done it 3 or 4 times.
We're 2 minutes into the second quarter. They've only had 4 drives. They've done it once a drive on an average. I'd expect it as a defensive coordinator.
Well, Horton's back in there now. And she'll roll out to the right side. We'll let it fly, and short stops the tended receiver Baker here on the near side.
I mean, there's some colleges, to paint a picture, there's some colleges that do this where not a 2-quarterback system, but it's 1 1/4 quarterback system where somebody else, a skilled player, takes some snaps. You kind of you want to catch the defense, make them honest. The Florida Gators, when they won the national championship, their first one with Tim Tebow, you had a veteran quarterback before him that they both were taking snaps in the middle of the same drive. It works at times, but I personally am just not a fan of doing it as much as the Passion have been doing it. But you got to maybe throw some sprinkles in there and throw some tricks when you're facing against Boston.
Horton from the shotgun. Trips here to the near side. Back to pass, throwing. There's contact all the way. There comes a flag. It's nearly picked off, but definitely Baker was the intended receiver, and she was draped over like a curtain. And actually, Lisa Horton came all the way to midfield to just check with the officials that was indeed the call.
Well, she gets a penalty there in the pass interference, as she should, but that's a similar play to what the pass interference was not called a couple drives ago. So the Boston defense is really playing with fire. They're trying to get brutal, and maybe these penalties will help out the Passion. I keep throwing because you're going to get a penalty or reception. I trust in my receivers. If I'm the Passion, I'm Lisa Horton. Conversation from even the defense there, the linebacking core from Boston. They're putting their own game plan in during the spell.
First down and 10 from the Boston 45-yard line with 10:10 to play in the first half. Lisa Horton conducting traffic with trips here to the near side. Fake the sweep. Now they give it to her. Now Hay gets it. Now they give it back to Horton. Horton's going to let it fly. Got a receiver down there, and she makes the catch inside the 20-yard line. Rachel Wachowski again making a nice catch down on the far side.
Well, the Passion are now 2 for 2 on trick play deep passes. I think 3 different quarterbacks or quote-unquote quarterbacks had their touch of the football, able to get it over top of the wide receiver, having to come back to it, almost underthrown, but connecting right before the goal line.
That was the touchdown play again, Mike.
It was basically the identical play. The wide receiver had to go back to it. It wasn't thrown as far.
So Pittsburgh gets good field position after the bag of tricks, and then a throw and nearly picked off again. And it falls harmlessly to the phony turf here at the stadium, but
that's pick six. That's pick six. That's
dangerous.
The entire field in front of you.
Fritzy almost, going back to the huddle, is pretty frustrated at that one.
That's a game changer. 2 touchdowns, the Passion score here. They're right back in the thick of this game. If that's a touchdown, if that's another defensive score or points off a turnover by Boston, that might be that stomping the heart of the Passion that they just can't afford. No defender in front. That's the worst case interception. When you do those short passes, when you do 10-yard curl routes, which is what you do in the goal line so often in the red zone, they beat it. They beat the receiver. It's pay dirt.
Back to passes Horton. She'll throw, and the slant route, a little bit of miscommunication there. The pass goes incomplete. 9:20 to play in quarter number 2. It is 28-14 is our score. Boston leads Pittsburgh, and you take a look at how things planned out in that first quarter, Mike. It was pretty even through things. 7-6 in first downs. Rushing yards was really the difference. Boston had 192 of them in the first quarter, and they averaged 411, and obviously a WFA best by far.
Yeah, but that almost is even keel with the passing, with Lisa Horton's passing of that first quarter. So it was a dead heat in the first quarter. More Boston points off of the turnover and the mistakes.
Here's Horton. Spreading out the receivers once again. Pressure comes. She'll let it fly to Wadowski, who makes the catch for the Pittsburgh touchdown. Rachel Wadowski. Her third touchdown catch of the first half. And Horton to Wadowski has been a reoccurring theme. And this time, Pittsburgh able to hook up from 16 yards away.
Laying out the tomahawk chop here in Station Square. Pittsburgh Passion now one touchdown within Boston on a ball that sailed for a mile, but you couldn't have put it in a better spot. Wide receiver getting by on the slant, middle, dead center of the end zone. Passion touchdown.
Amy Fallon's extra point is up and good. 9:12 to play here in the second quarter. Boston better look out. They lead it by 7, but Pittsburgh is not going away. 28-21 right here on the Champ Sports Network. I think this is the biggest point, Mike, is Pittsburgh has been able to continuously respond to Boston and not allowing that third touchdown. When you're down by 2, you know that a couple things bounce your way, you're right back in the game. Once it goes down by 3, there's things that
that's
really
how
you can't do.
That's how it unravels.
Right. That's
how the blowouts unravel. With the passion or quality enough, they're not going to let this be a blowout.
I'd like it to go the other way.
I mean, blowout's a whole different conversation. They're one score away. 9 minutes in the first half, they're one score away, and if you're the Passion, you feel it should be tied. Yeah. They got a touchdown off the interception, points off turnover, so this should be 21-21, if not 28-21
the other way.
Favor of the Passion.
14-point swing.
Because of the turnover, when you were on your own, 10-yard line, that should have been your own touchdown. So the Passion have to feel pretty good about themselves, to say the least.
Let's see if the defense can buckle down here. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Handoff. Zeeley, and she is stopped for a loss of 1 of the play. The first time tonight, she is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Vasquez, among others, in on the stop. Second down and 11.
And that's another thing about the Passion. The maturity and the experience. It's a veteran team. They've been together. They've been in championship caliber games. They lost in the playoffs. They've been through everything. To get out of those 2 touchdowns and a turnover and to be down 1, man, that's something to be said for this team.
Handoff that goes to Zeeley, and she is stopped across the 46. Masters in on the tackle this time for Pittsburgh. 46-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and 4. And I'm taking a look here. Militia in the first quarter only had 1 third down. They converted it. They have another big one here. And rolling out is Cahill. Cahill's going to try to get to the corner. She will, the first down, and stepping out of bounds. Picking up the sticks, and they'll get a fresh set by the Cahill designed run.
Yeah, not only you ground and pound with running backs, but your quarterback has designed runs. This is just all on the ground, all purpose on the ground by Boston. You know what's coming. They are one-dimensional, but it's just one-dimensional in so many different facets, and that's even more to be said for them. They're one-dimensional and still just touting points.
Now she'll throw, and it's intercept. No, they said it was incomplete off the turf, and incomplete. I thought maybe initially they were going to give that to her. I didn't think she got it.
No, it bounced up after the tip.
Good effort though by Alex McAtee to at least try to sell it for a second there.
Hey, not only every athlete masks as an actor. You want to be a stellar thespian out there on the gridiron, hardwood, or ice, because you need those referees to give you the assist on the embellishment.
Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Zealy gets the call and broke off one tackle, has a first down, and is finally tripped down at the 25-yard line, but not after picking up another 20 yards.
Pittsburgh 25.
Last one was Cahill's first attempted pass. She's now 33 of 49 on the year.
Tackle for Pittsburgh.
Still, though, you got to bite on the pass. It is possible. They can pass. They just don't because of you have Akili running 50 yards a clip.
Timeout Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh wants to talk things over. More action here on the Champ Sports Network's presentation of Pittsburgh Passion Football. 28-21, 6:53 to play in the first half. After the timeout by Pittsburgh, welcome back here on the Champ Sports Network. A run on first down by Boston picks up 5 more by Zealy, or I beg your pardon, that was
For 39, Dorothy Donaldson.
Dorothy Donaldson on the run.
Number 2, Alex McAtee.
McAtee on the
5.
tackle, second down and 5, and they quickly go back to the ground game. It'll be about a yard short of the first down sticks. Donaldson gets another carry. And just play that one again. McAtee this time. Niedermeyer helps in on the stop.
Yes, swarm of defense. I mean, they all go at the ball carrier.
Third down, and they're going to call it 2. Huge third down play here from the 17-yard line of Pittsburgh. Under 6 minutes to play. A handoff to Zealy, and she tripped over her own lineman, and she is going to be brought short of the first down marker, and it's going to be fourth down now. Fourth down and 1.
If you're Boston, though, do you consider going for this? Because it's going to be fourth down and 1, and you have a Zealy who can get a first down really on any carry. She is that strong and muscular of a running back, and you just break the line and fall forward. I actually was going to say, will that be a handoff, or will the quarterback take it herself? Because even on third down and 2, I might have given it to the quarterback, let her run. She's athletic, and she's a runner in her own right.
And I think we're going to get another timeout. Boston's going to call a timeout. 5:12 to play.
And on those third and fourth down and shorts, you don't want to start too far, because when you're handing it off, you're starting behind the line of scrimmage. I understand the first down. I understand the second down and 6. But when you need that first down more than anything else in the drive, take the assured first. Let the quarterback sneak.
Passion head on the road to our nation's capital next week. We'll play the Divas in huge divisional matchup.
What a game that'll be. They have the bitter taste from the end of last season. They have the bitter taste from the beginning of this season. It doesn't even matter where they are in the standings, and it's important for that. But they would want to win this game even if they had 0 wins themselves. Yeah. They just want to beat DC. They want to make it a rivalry that's not, kind of outlandish for one team. They want to beat DC. That's their personal hump before then they can wear rings on their fingers and actually pursue that championship.
Well, that's what happened last year. Pittsburgh won the first meeting, then they lost the next 2. The one here in Pittsburgh, and then the one in the playoffs. So it's almost, could it end up being a role reversal this year?
And the playoffs without Lisa Horton, though.
Right. Fourth down and a big one. Quarterback sneak, and she will not get it. Will not get it. Stopped by the Pittsburgh defense. And a huge stop at that. Pittsburgh takes over on downs. First down and 10. The black and gold brick wall comes up big. And they'll get it at the 16. And Mike, you can't talk about how huge that stop was right there.
That's a crater of momentum now for the Passion. Unbelievable. Able to stop the Boston Militia run on third down and short, and then fourth down and 1, really inches. Phenomenal. That right there flips the coin on this game if the Passion really can start now. They get the ball, make this points, and start getting personal with Boston.
Now, to really make this a turning point, go down and score.
Yeah, and that would make up for the interception and the points off turnovers Militia already put on the scoreboard. You'd be doing it the same way.
Horton from the shotgun, a sidecar to the left. Will get the snap and roll out to her right. Horton going to thinking about tucking and running, and she will. Carrying it ahead across the 20 up to the 23-yard line is Lisa Horton before she's brought down. She picks up 7 yards of the play. Second down and 3 coming.
Still a second down and short. The Passion are a team that's really built to have long drives. Second down and short, third down and shorter. Get first downs. 10 yards. Get downfield. They want to have the ball. They want to score, and they don't want time left in this half for Boston to get it back and then get another lead before we go in the locker room.
4:25 on a moving second quarter clock. Horton from the pistol formation with 4 wide. She'll get the snap, look to her left, and tossing, incomplete. Baker, the intended receiver on the slant pass, and it will be third down and 3. And now here, you just want to get to the other side of that orange marker.
You just want that first down. You want to keep the ball and keep possession. And you're even seeing a timid Boston defense because they know it's a pass-first team. They aren't going to blitz. They haven't blitzed too much in this game. You're seeing a zone where they have so much outside the box, and the secondary are the main portions of their defense.
Third down at 3, and Horton will empty out the backfield. Go 5 wide receivers. Pressure shown. She'll throw and complete her pass for first down yardage. Baker shakes off one, shakes off another, and finally gets hauled down, but not before Angela Baker picks up the Pittsburgh first down and moves all the way across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. And Pittsburgh's on the move with 4 minutes to play in the first half.
They did what they had to do. Get a first down. Keep the ball. No under 4 minutes, 3:50 and some more seconds keep rolling off the clock. Passion now getting to huddle. You just really calm down the offense and make this drive happen as we close out halftime.
Sidecar now to the left side, and Horton rolling out to her left. Pump fake, and will let it fly right at the sticks. It's hauled in, and this is going to be very close to a first down. I think she's going to be just short.
Complete to number 40, Crystal Kozo.
Crystal Kozo made her first reception of the night on the far side and picks up 9 yards. Second down and 1. And you know what?
It's not just Amanda Haig. It's not just Amanda Haig.
And it's not just Rachel Wadowski. But they're also picking out on the flats. They don't want to go across the middle as often as they have been, but they're really picking on the flats. I guess they think that's the weak spot, and it's obviously working.
These receptions and these passes are to the sideline, it's pylon to pylon, and you're staying away from those linebackers that have forced turnovers back in that first quarter.
Pistol once again for Horton. 2:35 to play now. Linebackers show blitz, then here they come, but they'll run right away from the blitz. Lisa Horton will run, have the first down, and go into Boston territory down to the 36-yard line. Is Horton, who moves the sticks once again. And great job by Horton to go right around the middle linebacker blitz that was coming barreling through the offensive line, and she was nowhere to be found once the linebackers got through.
You want respect for your teammates as a quarterback. You run through the middle at a linebacker. You roll off a linebacker, then you run again, then you slide, and you pick up a first down. That is a tough nose play by Lisa Horton at quarterback.
Now under 2 minutes to play. Here in the first half, 28-21, Boston leads it. Horton conducting traffic on this first down and 10 from the Boston 36-yard line. She'll get the snap on a slant route, incomplete. Wadowski looking for the flag as she had, one of the linebackers had a hand on her. No flag will be thrown and no such penalty will be called. Second down and 10. And I think that was probably one of the first no calls that should have been called in today's game. Zebras have gone unnoticed really to this point, and that's a good thing for them.
Yeah, they know you when you're a referee, you don't want your name out there. You don't want the fame. If you're famous, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
In 99.9% of cases. So, with the exception of that pass interference back in the first quarter, it has been tight. The referees keeping a lid on this game, but the Passion not having to worry about it.
After the incomplete pass, the clock stops at 1:39 now. Full wide. Horton will get the snap. Roll out to the right side. Throw. Making the catches. Baker is stepping out of bounds. Stopping the clock. And she's going to be pretty close to that first down. About 3 yards short of the first down. It will be 3rd down and 3 after the 7-yard pass and catch. As Horton, I think, more so tonight, Mike, than any other night, she has spread the love around. Obviously, Wadowski's been on the reception end of the 3 scores, but in between those scores, everybody's getting involved on the reception end of her passes tonight.
She's making all her receivers pleased, and we've seen this from her before. She's a quarterback that really hangs her hat and makes it a testament to her individual game to spread the love. If you're open, she'll throw it to you. She wants the confidence in all her receivers, not just her blanket in Amanda Haig.
Back to pass. Pressure comes and it's intercepted. Linebacker picked it off, and she will lower her shoulder, and getting the interception is Deidre Hort. Hort picked it off. She almost turned around right at the right time and ended up having the football about a millimeter away from her body, brought in the 2 paws and was able to make the interception. And a very unlike Lisa Horton first half, 2 interceptions that have now been able to put in Boston. Maybe not necessarily. I don't know how risky they're going to make taking some shots downfield with the final minute 23 in the half. But
no, it's irrelevant though, because they don't let the game be tied. And that 52, I don't want to say this on Pittsburgh fans listening, but she's reminiscent of Ray Lewis. You got to account every moment where she is in the field. She's either laying down a hit or causing a turnover.
Almost got another interception. They almost gave it right back to Pittsburgh. Alex McAtee on the coverage almost got her hands on it as the throw from Cahill was well overthrown. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
And going back to the interception play, in the Ray Lewis ability, just you go to the football. She doesn't have one wide receiver she's following like maybe some other defenders. They're giving her the credence to just basically attack where the football is. She follows it, and every single tackle, every single time, we've almost seen 3 or 4 interceptions that could have happened. She's caused the other interception. She now has this one. Lisa Horton got to be careful.
2nd down and 10. Cahill, here comes pressure. Got to get it away. She did. She got it out to Zealy down the far sideline, who picks up a first down for Boston. Got upended. McAtee gets the tackle for Pittsburgh, but that will move the chains for the Militia. Down to 1:05 to play here in the first half, and now the Pittsburgh defense, number one priority becomes not allowing Boston to put more points on the board before we send it to the break.
Keep it where it is. Still 1 score down. Don't make this turnover mean anything.
And there's a nice defensive play as Zealy is stopped up by Tia Montgomery. First time we've said her name this evening.
Yeah, Tia Montgomery usually is accustomed to about 10 shout-outs per broadcast.
47 seconds left in the first down. Timeout, Boston.
She's really had to step up. Of course, Pittsburgh not without Olivia Griswold.
Well, Tia Montgomery has multiple 20-plus tackle games to her career.
Yeah.
I mean, she's an all-star for the Passion, and really a tremendous addition to this Passion team this season.
Her and Candace Snyder, and it's And then you have the staples that have been here for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like you're adding and they're just a backup, or there's somebody then that gets a few minutes and a few plays. You're adding to the starting running back and one of the key linebackers. I think that's it's pretty important.
Yeah, it's pretty significant.
Yeah. Where would they be without Candace Snyder and T. Montgomery, maybe, is the other question.
Second down at 13 after the nice defensive play by Montgomery. Cahill throws, and it is behind. No, they're going to say that it was a forward pass that goes incomplete. It will be third down with 44 seconds left. Militia are out of timeouts. Pittsburgh has 2 remaining, and if I'm Boston, I'm running this ball right now. And regardless if I get the first down, I just want this clock to wind out. But I don't think they're going to do that. It looks like they're going to put the ball in the air and risk giving Pittsburgh a couple seconds to work with here. Here comes pressure, throwing and dumping the pass off. It is recepted, moved across and there's a flag that comes flying in. They are going to be right on the first down marker, but I think this one is going to come back. McAtee getting the credit for the push out of bounds on the reception for Boston. Adrian Smith making the catch.
If that comes back, it's almost a shame for Boston, though, because it was late in the play. They already had the first down.
Right.
They already had the catch.
I think you're going to get a block in the back here.
Just trying to tack on more when all they needed was the first down. All they needed was to stop the clock and go out of bounds. And this Boston team, another reason why I would agree with you and I would run, they have 20-yard runs, 30-yard runs, 40-yard runs in games this season and games here tonight.
So if you get it, great. But at the same time, if you don't, you're running the clock out. Pittsburgh's forced to take a timeout.
And it's, I think, just as likely you get a touchdown on a big pass play through the air if you're Boston when that's not your bread and butter, as you would if Akili goes and gets by a couple defenders, which then sees her for 50 yards in the end zone. One of the touchdowns in this game is a big run from Akili. This is getting away from their normal game plan, it almost seems, based on the time. I said it right every other time.
Third down at 15. Delayed handoff to Zealy. And she will finally get bottled down. And with 25 seconds left, clock is stopped by Pittsburgh as they will take a timeout with 25 seconds left, and now it's fourth down. And I don't know, does Boston know what a punt unit is, or?
Yeah. 25 seconds. Maybe they're just going to do it for fun practice, the punt. But there shouldn't even be 25 seconds. It was a mismanaged offensive drive there in the final minute. And Zealy requires 3-4
Pittsburgh
tackles.
Pittsburgh can put a quick touchdown here.
They have a one-play touchdown on their credit in this game, and you know they're going to try. If I'm the Passion, when I get the football, even if 10 seconds are on that clock, I will try one play deep. Because what is the worst that can happen? I would not kneel on it. Even if they intercept it, the clock runs out, you go to the locker room.
Boston on to punt with 25 seconds to play in the quarter and in the half. Punt is handled and away. Short punt that goes out of bounds and stops the clock with 18 seconds. Pittsburgh will get the football at the 45-yard line, their own 45. So they'll have just 55 yards from tying this football game, 18 seconds and one timeout. So anything in play, they could still call that last timeout. But I think you're right in the sense of there's going to be a play deep coming up here.
Yeah, there should be when you're down one touchdown. And if there's a play deep here, could you imagine the momentum swing if they would get a play deep, you beat somebody and you get in the end zone? Yeah, you have two turnovers, one touchdown off of turnovers, but you're within 7. You have the football. Boston will, though, start with the football first drive of the second half.
First down and 10 from the 45. Lisa Horton grabs the snap. And here comes that trickeration play. Haig now looking long. Gonna let it fly. Got Wadowski. And she made the catch at the 20-yard line. Out of bounds with 8 seconds to play. Amanda Haig to Rachel Wadowski. A huge pass and catch in double coverage. And instead of Horton letting it fly, it was this time Haig who made the pass. And how about this, Wadowski? It doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. She's still going to catch the football.
How many cannons for arms does the Passion have? They're at a premium. Another trick play, another non-Lisa Horton conventional quarterback throwing it, and another huge advancement downfield. 8 seconds, presence of mind, get out of bounds, save the clock, and that catch by Wadowski in between 2 defenders and 2 corners, having to come back the football, seeing where it was going to go, and then put it where only either the Passion wide receiver gets it or it's incomplete. That could not have been intercepted. That's a quarterback could not have thrown that better than a non-quarterback just did.
Yeah. Timeout Pittsburgh. Stops the clock with 8 seconds. Pittsburgh trying to get in the end zone here and going into the locker room tied. Obviously, Boston gets the football back to begin the second half, and how big? I mean,
well, whatever.
It's a new game.
Football. I mean, this is just, yeah. No matter who gets the football, you want points. You want a touchdown. If I'm Boston, I almost feel they've been almost overly confident where the final minute, I don't care if we're giving the football, we're just going to press, we're going to run. That missed clock management by the final minute by Boston
could end up costing them big here.
It could cost them the game.
Empty set. 5 wide receivers for Lisa Horton. She'll get the snap. Go back to pass. Going out far side. Got the receiver, and it is incomplete. As they wanted the flag, Wadowski was the intended receiver, searching for her 4th touchdown reception, and it is incomplete, stopping the clock with 3 seconds to play. One more play. It'll be a second down and 10. This undoubtedly the final play of the first half, barring a penalty.
Yeah, and no call. I don't need a call there. I'm fine with the no call.
Yes. Horton again with 5 wide. Back to pass. Looking, having time, throwing on the slant route. Snyder makes the catch, but it's nowhere near the end zone, about 13 yards short. She makes the catch, and that's going to end the first half of play with our score. The Boston Militia 28, the Pittsburgh Passion 21, and arguably for Boston, for the first time this season, they have to play the second half.
And Boston is on the ropes. They're legitimately on the ropes. Now, that last play, I don't like the last play. You throw it into the end zone. It's the last play. Nothing can happen but either score or you have this scenario. Boston, though, they're on the ropes. This game has been played even. You could argue the Passion have outplayed Boston with the exception of those turnovers. If I'm Boston, if I'm the Passion, and I go in the locker room, I tell my team, we're beating ourselves. If we stop beating ourselves, we should and will win this game.
That's a story after 30 minutes. Come back, we'll play 30 more right here on the Champ Sports Network's presentation of Pittsburgh Passion Football. Pittsburgh Passion Football on the Champ Sports Network is proudly brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, life-changing medicine. By the Club Sport and Health, one membership, more options, more fun. By CORE, the Center for Organ Recovery and Education. One organ donor can help save up to 8 lives. Learn how you can help by texting LIFE to 66174. By Silver Sport, ultimate fitness gear protecting workouts everywhere. By U.S. Foods, keeping kitchens cooking. And by Pittsburgh Brewing Company, the makers of IC Light. Welcome back here to Pittsburgh. South Side, Station Square, the shores of the Mon. Back alongside Mike Ostia, Matt Fargo. Glad you can make us a part of your evening, or if you're watching back on Champ Sports Network, our television broadcast. We're kind of doing it all here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I have a face for TV, but a voice for radio. But every now and then, I let the people see me. See my beautiful mug. But this is a classic in the making, and you couldn't ask for much more than this from what we've had so far in that first half between Boston and Pittsburgh. Two teams that feel they are championship caliber.
Well, on the return, she put her knee down, and that will put Boston in not so great field position to start things, as they're going to be they'll be starting from the 13-yard line is where Boston will be getting this start and the green light. So they go back to work up by 7, Mike, and this is an imperative to Passion. The last 2 Boston offensive drives have resulted in no points, and that's the biggest key going in here to this second half. They have to go 3 and out here, or just not allowing points would be fine as well.
Pittsburgh needs a stop, and a stop would be big because they had the stop at the end of the first half. They didn't get points in their favor, but the missed clock management by Boston keeps this game within 1 touchdown, and now a whole field to go. This favors the Passion.
Handoff right side. Zeeley getting the call, and she is stopped after a 1-yard pickup. Vasquez. Zembovic also getting credit for the tackle. 2nd down and 9 coming.
Another 2nd down and long, way to the shadow of their own end zone. Boston has the long drive capability, but it's all on the ground. If they keep a 3rd down and long, they might have to get away from it, and that's what the Passion want to force defensively, getting away from what they do best.
And off to the left side, Zeeley getting the call. And breaking through and has room. Midfield, and finally Vasquez chasing her down, but she stepped out of bounds right at the midfield stripe. Zeeley, there's can't be any credit to the tackler. There was no one around her when she stepped out of bounds.
And that's really the worst thing when you're a defense going against a running back that is just so talented like this and so physical. You want to hit her. You want to get her hit on every play, even if she gains 30 yards. Hit her at the end of it, able to step off out of bounds. They're unscathed. Disaster.
And off left side, and Zeeley getting the call. Pittsburgh hounding the football, and actually that was on the carry. Stacy Tamfook getting the carry, and will be a 2nd down and 4 coming up after a pickup of 4 or 6, and into Pittsburgh territory now to the 44-yard line.
And in 2 plays, they gain half the field. They gain everything on 2 plays. That's what Zeeley does for you. She gets by 1. She has the moves and has the force. She could almost go the distance.
Back to pass on the play action, and undershot the intended receiver, did Cahill.
Was it batted? Was it batted at all? It almost looked like the defender maybe batted it down. Not the case, though. Just really not enough air under the throw.
Brittany Taylor was the intended receiver. And here we are, Mike. Okay, yeah, they had a lot of offensive yardage racked up in those last 2 plays. Now we have a 3rd down and 4 situation.
Yeah, this is maybe where you think about another short pass play, but if it is, I probably would go to Zeeley, let her pick up the yards after the catch. When you have that running back, though, I wouldn't be surprised with anything. You could even get a simple handoff that gains you 10. They have that offense that is very difficult to scheme against, even though they're traditionally one-dimensional with so much on the ground.
Cahill from the shotgun. Zeeley goes in motion, and they hand it off to the fullback, and she is stopped. On the stop for Pittsburgh was Amy Betterton. Tackling Donaldson short of the marker. It will be 4th down and 2. And decision time for Boston. They're 0 for 1 on 4th down attempts. Can Pittsburgh come through the clutch again and get a big turnover on downs here?
And miss the 3rd down and short and 4th down and 1 back in the first half. When you have a running game like this, you wouldn't think you'd be missing 3rd down and shorts and 4th down and short, but here it is again.
Handoff will pick up the first down. He didn't go to Zeeley. Gave it to Tamfuk again, and she'll move the sticks for a first down for Boston, and they will pick up the first down, but they convert on fourth down. And if you've noticed, Mike, on the back of Boston's helmets, they have a huge yellow sticker on the back, and it's actually a Boston Strong sticker. Of course, the tragedy in Boston at the Boston Marathon just a few weeks ago, and they're doing their part in remembering that. And here's Zeeley again on the sweep to the left side. She'll pick up 7 yards of the first down run up to the 30-yard line.
For 33, Tammy correction, Whitney Zeeley on the tackle, number 47, Amy Betterton.
And tragedies like that happen in your city can really galvanize a team. We've seen many teams get to championship level where they haven't been before in tragedies from their location. They really blend that family that is your team on top of the family that is your blood.
Play action, rolling out, throwing down this, completing the pass out, and this is going to be caught for
The number 85.
I think they're going to be short of the touchdown, and I think it's coming back anyway. There's a bunch of laundry out on the field.
That would have been a touchdown had it not been for the penalty.
I don't think so. I think they marked her down about a yard or two short of the markers, according where the official is.
Because I would disagree with the marking spot, but it's irrelevant.
An eligible woman downfield is the call. You got to be sensitive here.
Right. I mean, it's a women's game, but they're women professional athletes. You can't be tossing out the eligible man downfield.
Right.
Especially this weekend, Mother's Day, all the halftime celebration for women across America.
Second down at 8 after the penalty. Sweep left side. Zeeley getting the call again. And Zeeley down the near sideline. Finally bottled back and knocked out of bounds. McAtee on the stop. But that will move the sticks for Boston. And now Boston knocking on the door. Now at the 22 of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs that stop here. You can't allow Boston to go back up 2 scores.
No, and that 2 score puts you right back in the same situation where you're on the verge of being blown out. There's still time here, but this one touchdown game with the interceptions, you got to feel confident. This is a critical drive.
Be a big time for a turnover here if they could get one. Zeeley gets the call, and she's immediately hit. Picks up 2 yards. Second down and 8. Masters gets the stop. The captain.
Second down, 8.
You hear the captain's names mentioned a lot. Masters, Vasquez, Horton, Horak, and Zubovic. Rolling out is Cahill, and she'll be forced to run out of bounds short of the marker. Be third down coming up here as Cahill chased out of bounds by Vasquez and company. Another big third down coming.
Another one, just force them into those third downs. And now not even a third down and short. This is a third down and 5. There's some yards they got to get here. This has been an impressive defensive stand by the Passion, and it's been a lot of work for Boston to still get here this far downfield, but they're that talented.
Crowd chants defense, and Zeeley gets the carry, and she is going to be brought down short. Picks up 3 yards, needed 2 more. And it will be fourth down once again, and now 1 for 2 on fourth down conversions on the Militia, so looks like they're going to bring on the field goal attempt. And they've already had a problem with an extra point snap here, Mike. So.
Yeah, they did lose points off of an extra point attempt. So this almost screams desperation for points.
32-yard attempt from Danielle Risha.
Danielle Risha to attempt a 31
Snap is high, is brought down. The kick is on its way, and that kick is no good. Wide right, Pittsburgh holds. And the Passion for the third straight time. Hannah goose egg back to the Boston offense. And now their offense will take the football back over and an opportunity to tie things up. Boy, what a critical decision and miss. I like the call. You know, you kick the field goal, go up by 10. But the way that they were running the football there, I don't... Yeah, could have went for it, but hindsight's 20/20.
It is, and I feel they probably would have got the conversion, but they missed before on fourth down. You got to go try to get those points. You don't want to try to save points later. But the Passion, don't forget that shutout streak coming into this game. Only allowing 28 points to Boston, including turnovers. This is a really good Passion defense.
And off the right side, picks up 5 yards. Chick, actually, they're going to give her upwards to 7 on that run.
And that stop, what that did for the team, you have players there on the sideline pointing up to the sky. And they give a real moment that brings them together, and that is now momentum on the Passion. They turn us into points. Boston's going to be in trouble.
Second down at 3, and somebody moved. We haven't had a pre-snap penalty all game, but I think the false start's going to be against Pittsburgh.
We haven't had many penalties all game.
No.
We had them on one hand.
Pittsburgh penalized 5 yards, illegal procedure.
False start penalty sets the Passion back 5 more yards, so now second down and little less than 8, more than 7. Right in the middle there.
There's some math for you.
Twins out to the far side from the I formation. They give it to Candace Snyder, the fullback in the fullback set. Able to carry forward and pick up about 6 of those yards. It's going to be third down and 1 coming up. Nice job by Snyder to impose her will on the white jerseys of the Militia.
Yeah, and Snyder has that in her. That bruiser that now, late in the game, when you need those short yard situations, she can get them. She can be a running back that can carry the rock. It's not all on Lisa Horton's arm.
Twins out to the far side. Fullback give again, and this is not going anywhere. They said they gave it back to Horton, who had kind of slipped away. But they're going to mark her down about no gain. They're going to give her no gain of the play, but it's going to be fourth down. And what to do now for Pittsburgh, because you don't want to give the ball back.
No, I mean, this is doomsday, because now this decision, if you don't convert, you're giving them right back where they left the football, and you're giving them more points. You've already felt like you gave them 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But it's even awkward punting. I mean, if you punt here and they run it back at all, this is almost a guaranteed good field position here for the Boston Militia if they get the ball back.
Yeah.
And this is not a first down.
So they're going to go for it. On fourth down and 1 from the 29-yard line, timeout is called by Pittsburgh. They realize how big this is. We're already down to the 5:30 mark of the third quarter. Fastest moving quarter by far after an hour and a half first half.
If I wasn't looking at it, I wouldn't believe you. If I was listening, I would question the broadcaster if I did not see this. And less points. You had a fast-moving clock with no points yet in the half. Neither team has yet to score. Both teams have had the football. Both teams have been able to drive. There's been no turnovers. It's just really good defense. And the Passion came into this game with a shutout streak, almost a record-long shutout streak. And you're not going to shut out Boston, a team that scored 70 before. But to hold them to 28, have only down 1 touchdown, that's like a de facto shutout. This is the best defensive performance any other defense has put up against Boston in a while.
Passion Football would like to thank the following sponsors: Live Well Chiropractic, trusted by the adjusted. Day Insurance Agency, your hometown insurance agency since 1974. By Hidden Valley Resort, located in Pennsylvania's Laurel Highlands, a year-round destination surrounded by beautiful state forests and parklands with activities for all. Hidden Valley Resort, a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Passion, as we have a huge play here. 4th down and 1 from the 29-yard line with 5:30 to play in the third. And it is Horton on a keeper, and she indeed has a Pittsburgh Passion first down. Going off the left end there and trusting the girls up front to escort her across the marker. She does. First down, Pittsburgh.
She trusted the Hogs, and I don't mean this in a negative way to this lovely woman out there for the Passion on the offensive line, but she pushed through. They got what they had to. They got the first down, and really, if you didn't convert there to give the ball back to Boston, that could have been the game. That was a game-losing play if they did not convert, and they knew it, and they did.
First down at 10, Pittsburgh. Fresh set of downs, and I don't think Pittsburgh fans have been any happier to have a fresh set of downs here as they go first down and hand it off, and Sierra Chick is bottled up after a 1 or 2 yard gain. Second down and 8 is upcoming as she's able to move her way up to the 33-yard line of Pittsburgh. 4:40 to play here in the third quarter.
Tossed to the side like a rag doll, though, after the play.
Yeah.
Just the physicalness of that secondary and of the linebackers, that the D-line, everything. Be able to run against this Boston team is impressive. Even though they're not a run-first team by the Passion, they've been effective on the ground when they have, and that's impressive against that wall that's assembled by the Boston defense.
As the Gateway Clipper fleet passes behind us, second down, ball is on the floor and is recovered by Boston. Fumble recovered by Boston.
On a recovery, number 50.
Back at the 30-yard line.
Okay, what are you going to point to?
DeAndre Hort again, Mike.
Yeah.
The linebacker.
Maybe the Ray Lewis comparison is valid. Just causing fits for the Pittsburgh offense. You're down 1 touchdown. You've scored with them. You put up the yard with them. You've stopped them. Your defense has been better than theirs. But the reason why you're trailing, another opportunity you give the Boston offense. Defensive touchdowns, interceptions, now a fumble.
Head off left side. Zeeley getting the call, and she's slung down as a flag comes flying in late behind the play. And we're going to get a holding call against Boston, and that's huge. You know, Boston now 0 for 3 in their last possessions, Mike, and now is this sneaking into the head of Boston? Pittsburgh's obviously continuously giving them opportunities to put this game 14 points ahead for the Militia, but they haven't been able to capitalize, and I have to say that it's not necessarily what the Militia aren't doing, but what the Passion defense is doing.
It's all about the Passion defense. The Passion defense has been the MVP of this game for either team, even though they're trailing. They've kept their team in it off of the turnovers and the mistakes born. Kind of uncharacteristic Passion offensive play with those mistakes, but the defense has kept them in it, and it could get in the head of the Boston Militia now. They need drive, they need yards, they need points. Well, that's 4 in a row. They haven't had that since these guys have played Little League.
First down after the penalty and a delayed handoff to Zeeley. She stiff arms one and tries to lower her shoulder over another. They pick up the lost yardage after the penalty and able to make this a second down and 9. McAtee gets the stop. It'll be second down and 9 back at that 29-yard line.
Second down and long, and rare second down and long and third down and longs. And that's what the Passion defense has forced. That's what they've forced all season. That's why they've got these stops. Even stops without forcing turnovers against Boston. Such a good Boston offense still.
They're going to give it off, and a stop is provided as they gave it off to Tamfuk, and she was thrown back to the original line of scrimmage, and maybe behind that, no, they're going to give her the 30-yard line. Loss of 1 of the play, and it will be now third down and 10 for Pittsburgh.
And really what this could do, you're really almost giving momentum and confidence back to this Passion team. It could bleed to the offense if you get another stop here. You don't want to turn over, but you just keep adding on momentum and building the momentum if you can keep getting these defensive stops. Boston's got to start thinking, how can we score on these girls?
3rd down and 10, another big 3rd down. Back to pass is Cahill. Here comes the pressure from the blind side. She was able to get it away to Zeeley, who was able to avoid the first one and dive forward, and she is going to be able to get the first down according to the spot. I don't know about that, Mike. A very generous spot.
Close.
They gave Boston a first down.
It looks like they're measuring it, though, maybe moving the chains out to measure.
Nope.
No, they're not even going to give us a measurement.
Big 3rd down, and that 3rd down was about another 3 seconds away from being a sack and a 4th down and long.
Yeah, had to get that ball off when she did.
1st down and 10 for Boston, the shotgun. Cahill dumping the pass off to Zeeley, who hauls it in and is abruptly brought down to the play by a host of black and gold jerseys, among them Amanda Duncan and Kozo also in on the stop. 2nd down and 9 on the pass and catch. I'm really surprised, though, Mike, that the Militia have decided to put the ball in the air as much as they have as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the Passion defense, but the only portion of against the Boston Militia offense is they've been playing into the Passion's hands, where they're making them get away from just going to Zeeley. They're making it get away from their physical run game. They're making them throw it, and yeah, they can throw it when they need to, but they haven't needed to, and they still tried. That's not their game plan.
2nd down and 9. Sidecars to the right and left of Cahill. They'll go option, sweeping it out to the left side, and Zeeley getting the call and avoiding some tacklers and finally tossed out of bounds, but not before she is going to be able to be, I think they're going to give her the first down here. She's knocked out inside the 10-yard line. They will give her the first down. 1st down and goal for Boston.
And now I would assume the running game will return. I would assume the running game now will return. A few handoffs here and you walk in the end zone. And then you're back to that 2-touchdown lead.
And even more so, that's the end of the 3rd quarter.
We had a scoreless quarter.
Scoreless 3rd quarter. 28-21 after 3 chapters, the 4th returning right here on the Champ Sports Network's proud presentation of Pittsburgh Passion Football. Back after these words. Pittsburgh Passion Football on the Champ Sports Network is proudly brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, life-changing medicine. By the Club Sport and Health, one membership, more options, more fun. By CORE, the Center for Organ Recovery and Education. One organ donor can help save up to 8 lives. Learn how you can help by texting LIFE to 66174. By Silver Sport, ultimate fitness gear protecting workouts everywhere. By US Foods, keeping kitchens cooking. And by Pittsburgh Brewing Company, the makers of IC Light. 4th quarter here on the Champ Sports Network. Welcome you back to Pittsburgh Southside. Passion and Militia, 28-21. First play of the 4th quarter is a Boston touchdown off the left side. Whitney Zeeley goes in off the left end, and she is in for 6 points. And Boston, on the first play of the final quarter, has gone up by 2 touchdowns.
And that's that 2-touchdown lead. It's a 2-touchdown lead they were clinging to in the past of this game, and it felt like an eternity before they could get back in there. They now get the confidence. They score again. You knew it was only going to happen eventually, which is why you cannot maximize their opportunity with the football. Another touchdown, 2 off of a turnover.
Extra point is good. With 14:53 left to go in regulation, Boston back out to a 14-point advantage over Pittsburgh, 35-21. But, Mike, this was the case of the 2nd quarter. And if you're breaking the games up into halves, this is still the Pittsburgh's game. Go down here. You mentioned a couple times in tonight's broadcast the fact that they have that one play scoring ability that they can be able to register points quickly. Just going to need to do that. There's still an eternity left in this game.
Don't sell them short. There's still an eternity left. They've scored back-to-back drives before, and defensively they have stopped Boston. Just cut down on the turnovers. Keep yourself with the football when you got it. Try to take advantage and get points. And they really should have 2 one-play touchdowns. The one at the end of the half ended up sitting them on the 5-yard line, and the other one, first play of this game, off the bomb on a trick play. They have trick plays. They have offense. They have cannon of arms from wide receivers, running backs, and the quarterback. Anybody can toss it up, go deep, and score. So this Passion team feels they're going to get more points. But now you're in that disaster scenario, though, where you're behind by 2 scores. You got to get your next point before Boston gets theirs.
Well, here's a good opportunity as the ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff. So Pittsburgh will get the football in good field position to begin this very, very important drive, and one that Mike needs to be consistent. And you don't need to go out there and register that touchdown in the first play.
No, they can, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. I want some time off this clock because the longer this game goes,
we don't want this to become a track meet here.
The scarier of the game I would be. And they every single drive, turnover or not, they've been able to move downfield.
Yeah.
Just be careful with the football.
First down and 10. Trips out here to the near side. Horton goes back to pass. Pressure coming, dumps the pass off over to the far side, and Candace Snyder hauls in the pass and maybe picks up a yard of the play. Second down and 9. Yeah, they're not going to get her anything. She got nothing. Second down to 10 after no game. I was trying to be optimistic there.
You're trying to be generous, too.
5-1-5.
And it's almost when you're going into this game, you knew it was Boston. You knew it was going to be maybe a classic. You knew you had to be on your A++ game. It is almost going to be bittersweet if you lose this way, though, because they played right even with them.
Yeah.
They've given them their points with a gift basket and a little bow around it. And this has not even been the best game by Boston. This is the worst Boston's played in months. But now they're up by 2 scores.
Only a minute gone here in the final quarter, though, so a lot of time to play. Trips here to the near side. Horton gets the snap, play action, dumps it away. Wadowski makes the catch, and she'll cut here to the near boundary and get pushed out. And she'll pick up about 7 yards on the play. 3rd down and 3 on the passing catch. Horton to Wadowski, who's Rachel has hauled in all 3 passes from Horton for touchdowns.
And Wadowski, that slot tight end body, typical tight end wide receiver that is really the security for Horton if she needs a first down or needs a locked-in catch that maybe won't go the distance, but it'll move the chains.
Well, they need a lock-in catch. Big play here on 3rd and 3. Blitz being shown. Horton rolls out to the left and avoids it. She'll just take off and run with it. Has a first down and more. 45-40. 35 as Horton breaks a tackle down to the 30-yard line. Lisa Horton running the football herself and now hurrying the offense back to the line of scrimmage. But Lisa Horton showing those wheels down the near sideline.
Yeah, you don't need a lock-in catch when you got a mile in front of you and the Red Sea parts. She knew, I'm going to run with open field. She had it, turned on the Jets. And as they blast that they're on fire here at the stadium, this Passion team is on fire, and they want to keep up that intensity, which is why you're seeing no huddle.
Horton from the gun. Does a check with me. Conducting traffic is Lisa Horton. Horton rolling out here to the near side. Gonna let it fly, and falling down, able to make the catch is Rachel Wadowski. And she had slipped, lost her footing on the turf here. And as she's falling down, able to still make the catch and move the sticks for a Pittsburgh Passion first down. Now down all the way to the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh's doing exactly what they needed to on this drive. Moving the ball efficiently, but not needing those huge chunks that are going to be risky.
No, and what they've done throughout most of this game, they've done this throughout most of this game. There's nothing really to fix on offense, just control the football and keep it.
First down and 10 again for Pittsburgh. Horton back to pass. Going to let it fly into the corner of the end zone. Got a receiver, and she made the catch for the Pittsburgh touchdown. What a grab. Able to tightrope the sideline here on the near side. And again, it's Rachel Wadowski hauling in not her third, but her fourth touchdown catch of this game. And Pittsburgh's right back within one score again.
Rachel Wadowski with the toe tapper gem for the touchdown catch, fourth of this game as she's become Mrs. Clutch for the passing, and there could not be a more clutch moment in this game to score. You cut it down within 7 again, and you're putting more pressure back on Boston.
High snap, it's pulled down, and Amy Fallon's kick is through the poles. It is true. 11:50 to play in regulation here in the fourth quarter, and it is 35-28. Pittsburgh won't go away. They continue to battle, and Mike, I mean, you couldn't have scripted it any better on that drive. Exactly what they needed to do to be able to get that in. You almost talk about that third quarter and wish, man, where was that when we could have tied this thing up?
Well, similar drives of the last couple, they just turned over the football down there in the red zone. The Passion now able to keep that football, able to get one over to the corner of the end zone, a sweet spot where nobody but your own wide receiver was going to get it. They use their speed. They're just as athletic as anybody on the Boston secondary, who's now starting to lag and get tired. And offensively, they feel they're going to keep getting points. They're going to keep driving. You keep the football. You don't make any mistakes and turn it over. This is really a game we still got.
Here's a return and up across up to the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh was more interested in getting the football there than tackling the return. Man, now Boston back out from the 40-yard line, their own 40. And if you're Boston, you really want this clock to go away, and you have to look up and say, boy, oh man, this 11:41, this game's far from over.
Seems like forever, but you want to keep that slow tempo with the football. You don't want a 50-yard run from Zealy. You want to be able to be methodical with it, which they have done in earlier drives. They can do that. This is when you're ground and pound with a lead. That's to your advantage. You just slowly move downfield, work the clock, and try to get another score.
And Zealy going to her right and falling down at the 45-yard line.
Gotta love the way Zealy runs right at tacklers. Right at him. She wants to go at him.
Second down, 4. Ball on the 45.
Pittsburgh fan base has been woken up here, Mike.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if it's the music they're putting here on at the arena and the kind of cranked up volume they're playing here, bouncing off the river to these buildings. But this crowd's into this game, and they need to be. They need this crowd behind them. This is the biggest game of the year.
Left side, Zealy makes a cut and is able to pick up the first down and more as she carries defenders across the Pittsburgh 45-yard line down to the 44. And Militia moving the football and still doing this hurry up, Mike. I'm really kind of confused on that. I feel like...
Yeah, I want to take time off the clock, and they're a team that's ground and pound, and they run first. Take time off the clock.
Flag comes flying in, and... it's going to be a false start against Boston.
And it's almost, it's again overconfidence. The overconfidence of mismanaging the clock at the end of that first half, and now the overconfidence that they feel, we just need to keep getting points, we'll win that way. We're outscore teams, which is as they've won all year. But Pittsburgh feels they're going to score too, and Pittsburgh feels they beat themselves to this point. So you're not just going to be outscored. You need to now work the clock. You need to now play almost a small ball of sorts here for football on the gridiron and win this as a coach. The overconfidence will lose this game if it does for Boston.
Boston keeping mind as Zealy gets the call. Another flag comes flying in, and Zealy getting the corner, picking up the penalty yardage and more. About a 10-yard pickup for Zealy on the carry. And we'll check the penalty flag here.
Penalty against Boston,
Illegal shift against Boston. So yellow flags have become an issue against the Militia on moving the football since they've crossed the midfield stripe.
First down, 20.
And it will be first down at 20. From Boston, as now they're on the other side of the 50, back on their own side of the 50-yard line.
Thank you.
First down at 10. Got Pittsburgh to jump on that play. Zeidley moves up, and Mike, now we've had a very clean game, and now 3 back-to-back-to-back flags, and now this is going to be offsides against Pittsburgh. Make it first down at 15 after the first down at 20 play that obviously will be negated here.
Yeah, and it's just more of now we had a game that was almost non-officiated in the first half and then some, and now and now the referees are really exerting themselves here late in the fourth quarter, and Boston's moving, and if Boston can score, they're back up by 2. Pittsburgh back behind the 8 ball. They're back to worrying about how they had those turnovers and the points that shouldn't be. This, and we say, probably anyone listening or watching is rolling their eyes. Well, is every drive the drive of the game? This here is now the drive of the game. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. Because that 2 touchdown difference between it being down 1 is just such a big deal.
Handoff. Off the right side, it will be stopped at the original line of scrimmage. Zeidley getting over, and Zobovic delivering the hit. Second down at 10 as Zeidley picks up 5 yards to the Pittsburgh 45-yard line. And it will be second down at 10 as we're now ticking down to about 8 minutes to play, and it's a 7-point game.
And if any player is going to crack a strong defense, it's that tough running back.
Sweep to the left side. And a first down and more. As getting the call this time for Boston was Asia Landrum. One of her few carries on the give, and now a flag comes flying in on the far side, so seems like it was after the run.
As having a superstar like Zeidley on your team as your star running back, but they've given 3 or 4 different girls carries in this game. You really got to know who's getting that ball, and it's a different type of runner and style on whoever is carrying it.
Personal foul penalty against Pittsburgh that marches them up. Boston gets 15 extra yards.
Another a drive marred with penalties after already a couple drives off of turnovers for scores. Just more Pittsburgh kind of helping the Boston cause.
Pittsburgh really could use a turnover here. Sweep left side. Again, second carry in a row for Landrum, and she is out of bounds. Kozo pushing her out of bounds, but she'll pick up a good chunk of yards here on first down, up about 6 yards to the far side. It will be second down and 4, and Pittsburgh calls their second timeout of the half, and
we've seen
a little bit dangerous now, like 7:31. Now you're down to 1 timeout.
We've seen them have a goal line stand before, but now you are burning a timeout. You're forced to burn a timeout on defense when you're going to need to save those for offense because you're already down 1 score. You're going to be down 2. You need this clock now. It's starting to go against you.
Take a look at the Pittsburgh Brewing Company scoreboard. The DC Divas able to defeat the New York Sharks tonight 49-40 in a shootout of
49-6. It's a shootout on one way.
49-6.
One-sided shootout.
Oh, see, I couldn't read that. 49-6. Okay.
and a future opponent of the Passion in D.C.
Yep.
Team they've already played once this year on this same field, losing the home opener in a game that really was going both ways. The Passion had a scoring drought in that game. They feel that loss is one they gave away to D.C.
Yeah.
This Passion team is just riddled with confidence, but those games against difficult opponents, the top-tier opponents, they feel they're giving away, and here's another one here.
Second down at 4. Sweep left side. Zeidele getting the call, trying to get the end. And she is knocked out of bounds, but will have the first down, it looks like, as she did get the marker, but could not get the pile on.
You know, we've seen
first down and goal coming up here for Boston.
We've seen coaches do this in a Super Bowl. There's almost now strategy to play in that deep. I almost would first you just go ahead and score and let's move the game on. Now we're going to have another conversation, another huddle. The clock's moving. We're wasting a minute off of really just inevitable situation of getting in the end zone when you're so close and after the way the drive's been.
Yeah, under 7 now to play.
You almost regret the push out in retrospect. And we're below seven minutes now. That's 40 seconds they've lost because of having to do another play on this drive.
They're trying to get that stop here, and what do they need? Handoff down just to the 1-yard line, and Janice Masters delivers a touchdown-saving tackle on that one.
Second and goal from the 2. Final score, DC 49, New York 6.
No, we're off from the crowd on that score being announced over the PA. I think everybody. Good thing he.
You can hear crickets.
At least Jeff corrected it for over the PA because that definitely looked like 40 to me.
Well, either way, DC does win as they hold court in the standings.
Yeah, they go to 4-1 on the year, and if Pittsburgh can't come back in this one, that game becomes all more important because they're going to need that one in the division. Second down and goal for Boston. Handoff. Zeidele is into the end zone for the Boston touchdown.
Whitney Zeidele into the end zone for a touchdown.
You knew she would. Another power run attack through the middle. Tried to sweep to both sides and able to be caught by a safety, goes through the middle, goes through the line. That's what Zeidele does best, and you pay another minute and a half off that clock in the last 2 plays on the stops. Almost becomes a negative on how long the drive took when it became another Boston touchdown.
Coming into this fourth quarter, Zeidele had 275 yards with 3 touchdowns in this game. Extra point is good. 5:32 to play here in the fourth quarter. And Boston back ahead by 14. And Pittsburgh just has been able to solve the 14-point drought, but has not been able to solve the 7-point drought that would be allowed to tie things up. Pittsburgh can easily go back out here and make this a 7-point game, but now Boston...
It's just repetitive. It's just repetitive.
Right.
Yeah.
And Boston's really playing now, Mike, with... is it me or...
It's not been Boston's best, but now that clock is just such a ticking time bomb against the Pittsburgh Passion because you just hear it and it just, you know that it's in the back of your mind. Now down 2 touchdowns. They played right there with Boston. They have. But
Mike, look at the lines.
I have seen that. It's become a soccer field. I hear they do that every now and then at the same stadium.
Oh, man. This is Baker on a nice return for Pittsburgh. Weaving her way through, got midfield. Good return for Angela Baker. Will set things up for Pittsburgh inside Boston territory.
47, first and 10, Passion ball.
Props to the line judges. to know what yards we got. I'm going to follow their lead as it has become.
For those of you that are listening on the radio side of things, just to explain this, the football lines here are painted on, and there's absolutely been no precipitation, but they have been literally erased from the field. They're not there anymore.
They've evaporated, if that's possible. We're defying the laws of physics here for the Pittsburgh Passion on the football field.
I'll say about the 47-yard line at this point.
Just keep using about. That way you're not wrong. It's a safe bet. About.
Horton will sling it over the middle of the field. A big crushing hit, but Haig hangs on. Amanda Haig took a big pop, but was able to hang that football and hold on to it. 7-yard pickup, 2nd down and 3. The clock winds down to 5 minutes.
And that's the first catch for Amanda Haig in a while, because ever since that first quarter when she was so involved as the number one threat, it's been all Rachel Wadowski tying a Passion record with 197 yards and 4 touchdowns, tied with Ellen Hauser against DC in 2004. Think of that.
Wow.
Really becoming, as the second receiver, having personal bests and team records in this game, in a monumental game.
Can Wadowski get a 5th and break it? Will throw, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, well, one catch for a few yards. She's over 200 with already 4 scores. You really got a lot on the arm of Lisa Horton. Even with those few mistakes, she has a few number ones out there. There's a lot to be accounted for on the speedsters and receivers for the Passion. 4:29, 42-28. This is now a must-score drive for the Passion. They got to cut this within 1. Then you consider maybe to go onside or not, because you want the possession, even though you believe in your defense.
3rd down and 4 from the 41 of Boston. Rolling out is Horton. Pressure's coming and throwing and incomplete. Off the numbers of Wadowski, and that's a rare sight to see.
4th down.
Yeah, I put the hex on her. She can't get 200 off of the color commentator. That's the first drop I've seen from any of these wide receivers. They are right there. The only time they haven't connected on completions is where the pass actually has been overthrown by Horton or a defender got in the way. These wide receivers are really, I'm sure they're taking Horton out to dinner later on, because they go hand in hand. Horton superstar, but thanks to these wide receivers.
4th down and a big one at that. Passion want to keep this ball game alive. Horton will take it and run with it, and she's going to be brought down, and that is going to be a huge blow as Boston will get the football. Sagers gets the sack, and Pittsburgh turns the ball over on downs with 4:17 to play and trailing by 14.
You see the hugs and kisses from the fans in attendance as the crowd starts to pile out here. 42-28, 4:17. Boston will get the football. It now kind of seems the writing is on the wall. Fat Lady starting to tune up the band and warm up the lungs. But this has been a game where you're facing an undefeated team that feels like they're going to win a championship, and you've been even with them. You feel you've given them the win. So this, for me, I'm going to spin it positively. I would feel confident for that game against DC and in the playoffs that I still feel we can beat anybody. I don't care of the seeding.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the best team in the conference, Pittsburgh definitely has to feel like they can play right with them.
Especially from their defense. They've held them several times.
Handoff on 1st down and 10. Zeeley will pick up about 7 yards of the 1st down run. Or no, it's Tamfuk on the carry, actually. And that will wind this clock here.
Do we even see Zeeley anymore? They've already had 3 or 4 running backs that get carries. They've been productive carries. Yeah. They don't even really need Zeeley anymore. And having to use that one timeout with 7 minutes to go on defense, so you're wasted one. Looking back for the Passion.
I don't know, Mike. You say they're rolling out. Passion fans are louder than ever here on second down. They still don't want to go away, and they still don't.
They're bringing the noise. There's just less of them bringing that noise. Passionate fan base, and passionate fan base for one of the marquee franchises in the WFA and all of professional women's football.
Pittsburgh 39.
And even to have this crowd when there's so much else going on for the city on this night. So they really care about their team here in the Passion, what they've done for the community, and want to support them.
First down for Boston. They'll hand it off the right side and stacked up by number of black jerseys, but Montgomery in again in there.
Gain of 2, second down, 8, 37.
Subs now in and out for Boston. You don't even need the lights. This city and these buildings light up this field. It's like a beam with where this is positioned here in Station Square off the river. Just an amazing setting.
Yeah,
Comparison of any stadium for any team anywhere in the country. An amazing setting here in Station Square for the Passion.
Left side. Run there that will pick up a first down for Boston, and down to a minute 35 of this one, and Boston will improve to 5-0. Passion falling to 3-2 on this now mid part of the season coming up.
Nothing to be too holding your head down, though, on losses to D.C. and Boston. It's not like they got upset.
No.
Those are two teams that could beat them, even though they came here to Pittsburgh to get those wins. They are home losses. You don't want to see that, but still, 3-2. They're right there in the standings. They feel they can beat anybody. They played right with anybody, and they played better in this game against Boston than probably some people would have expected going in. Playing it forward, you can still be confident if you're Pittsburgh.
Penguins just tied things in better news.
Late in the third period there for another big game in this city. Playoff game for the Penguins against the Islanders.
It's almost fitting that Pittsburgh's not playing New York.
Yeah, well, it has every other professional Pittsburgh team has been. Penguins trying to wrap up their first-round series if they can get this win. As the Passion also think about the postseason.
They'll hand off again. And stacked up, and that should do it with 15 seconds left.
And even for this win, if I'm the Boston Militia, I'm going to go back to the drawing board and tell my team, hey, there's some segments of our game that need improved, and the Passion came it to light. So the Passion have given the best effort by far against Boston, and if they meet again, I'm feeling fine with the matchup. If they meet again, I feel that the Passion really. If I'm the Passion, I feel like I gave them the game. Honestly.
Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage of Pittsburgh Passion football. Here our final score: the Boston Militia 42, the Pittsburgh Passion 28. Pittsburgh will travel to our nation's capital next week to take on the DC Divas in a huge division showdown. Playoff implications will be aplenty. We'll keep you updated on all the things going on down there in Washington next week. The next home game will be June 8th as the Detroit Dark Angels come to the Steel City.
For the Passion, hold your head up high. Another fabulous contest. This one against Boston. a really elite team, 2 elite teams, showing why they're giants to WFA. And this Passion team is going to keep learning and finding out themselves as they gear up for the playoffs with still dreams of hoisting a trophy and getting redemption for the way last season ended. Still, the sky's the limit for the Passion, and it doesn't get much easier, but they know it, and they relish that. They don't want anything easy. They've had adversity. It's only going to keep making this team better.
Well, thank you so much for watching and listening to Champ Sports Network's presentation. For John Rubino, Bill Pinciotti, and our entire Champ Sports Network crew, for Mike Osti, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks so much. This has been a presentation of the Champ Sports Network where the Pittsburgh Passion are heard. 42-28 is our final score. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Champ Sports Network. Good night, everybody.